Welcome back, my friends. We're going to talk about how you can stay in the mood to write. This is very important for everyone to do because I doubt you've already done it. Even if you know exactly what your book is going to be about, this is for you. It's going to be awesome, even though you're probably going to drag your feet at the beginning. But once you start doing it, you're going to be like, oh, heck yeah. And then by the end, you're going to be very happy about it. Okay, so just stick with me. Just trust me, okay? Just hang in there. We are going to talk about, wait till I share my screen. Staying in the mood to write. I guess I should do it like this. Come on. Like this. You can just look like this. This is fine. Nope, not that way. Hold on. Okay. How to stay in the mood to write. How to stay on track and not get distracted when in the middle of your story. You're creative, you like shiny objects, you need this, okay? This is me expanding on what I just said. This may seem like a waste of time, but it's not. It's actually super fun, and it might be the most fun of this, so of the course. Second only to when you finish your novel and you get to dance and celebrate, because that's an awesome feeling. So you don't get to skip this. It's important. So stay tuned. You're going to make a mood board. Yay! So this will act as the temporary cover for your book as you are writing it. What is a mood board? A mood board is like a cover of a book, but it's like a fancy picture collage based on a book, idea, story. Is going to remind you of why what's floating around in your head right now is amazing, because as you start writing, you're going to run into little writing blocks and you're going to have a hard time moving forward. Meanwhile, there are going to be other stories popping around in your surroundings, and you're going to want to change your idea, and you're going to want to try something different and give up on what you're doing and start something new. We don't want to do that. That's the enemy of book writing. So this is how you help yourself. You help yourself to stay grounded by having a visual representation of all the awesome things that are floating in your head right now. So if you're typing out your book, this is going to be your desktop wallpaper. And I mean this seriously. Either put it on your desktop or print it out and put it on the top of your laptop. Put it somewhere where you can see it all the time when you're about to write, or have it on a picture next to you. Okay, just have it somewhere physically available to you, because this really is going to help you stay hyped up to write. If you're dictating your book on your phone, then put this as your phone wallpaper for the next 2 months. It's just for 2 months. Your adorable kids can be your background again pretty soon. If you're writing your book by hand, then print this out and paste it onto your notebook or binder. Okay, it's going to be great. I had a book boot camp before with a group. It was a very much smaller version of this. And all the people, I was like, hey guys, make your mood boards. And all of them were like, do we have to? But then they ended up, every single one of them had a lot of fun with it. And they really enjoyed the process and they enjoyed the finished product. So I promise it's going to be worth your time. So let's figure out how to do it. If I can find, my mouse is being weird. There we go. To begin with your mood board, first you need to decide the colors. Now, I have a very specific way to do it on Canva, which I'll explain later in this and give you all the little steps through it. But you can do this just physically. If you want to get a big piece of paper, colored paper, and then print out pictures, cut them out, and paste them on there, you totally can. Up to you. But to create your mood board, first decide what the background color will be and what the pictures will be placed upon. Imagine your story. Close your eyes. What color is it? I had a dream of an orange sandstone castle that someone was chasing me through. True story. I based the setting of my current work in progress on that. So the background is orangey and dry. It's that desert setting that I mentioned before. It's like a desert, but still populated, right? I have another story that takes place in an apothecary. So there's lots of dark green, light green. There's a lot of light green, a lot of green in that story. It's a very green story. So the setting is a good choice for your background color, unless there's a different color that reminds you of your story. There's a different book I'm writing, and it's got a prince in it. Well, I think of purple as being a very royal color. So because that's kind of a background theme, I actually want it to be a purple background, not like the setting, which is in a forest. So there's that. Think about the color that you want in your background, the color that you feel matches with your story. Do you have an assassin? Are they wearing black? Do you have someone pretending to be a princess? Do you have a goddess who maybe is a bright yellow color? Do you have a, I don't know, dwarf? I don't know. Guys, think of a color, okay? Match your story with a color and just stick to it, okay? Maybe pick 2 colors and then pick one later on that you want to choose, okay? So write down a color in your notebook. Let's move on. Key objects. One of my stories has secret passageways. There's also several scenes in a dungeon. A key object in the story is a jewelry box. The house that this all takes place in has not been used in a decade, but is finely furnished, so there's lots of dust over very precious or very expensive furniture with sheets over it, right? I look for images like these or with the same feel as these, and I add them to my mood board. And one of the mood boards will actually be shown to you after this. Think of your own story. You don't have to have pictures of only the things that you are sure will be in your story. If you have a castle in your story, you can add a crown, you can add a fine carriage, a wax stamp, servants, a ballroom, things like that. Fancy keys, fine cloaks, knights in armor. I don't know. Pick something. Moving on. If you have your story set in a city, kind of like a while you were sleeping vibe, then maybe you have a train there. You have an old wedding dress, or you have old white shoes that are in a shoebox, or you can have some dollar bills that are crumpled. You can have a piggy bank, a house plant that's dead. You know, whatever, a dog, a house pet, whatever. Pick something. Maybe your character loves Reese's Pieces, so have a bag of Reese's Pieces on there. I don't care. This is for you. This is for your characters, okay? Key characters. What does your character look like? Who inspired you to create them? Is one of them based on the enchantress from Beauty and the Beast? Add a picture of her. Is one of them a lot like Sherlock Holmes? Add a picture of Sherlock Holmes. The way the character looks doesn't have to be exact. You can include their clothes instead. Have a dapper wizard guy? Include a picture of a stylish wizard, even if the face isn't how you imagine your character being in your story. Does your villain have a dog? Add a picture of a similar dog. Okay, so this is just to help you. If the image reminds you of your character, then it's a perfectly good image, okay? Add it in there. You can draw these things if you want to, but drawing takes a lot of time, so there's that. Totally up to you. Moving on. The purpose of the mood board isn't to tell your story or to spoil your story. It's to feel your story, to remind you of how your story feels. If you can feel the same joy and excitement for your story that you feel now when you're in the middle of it and want to quit, then you'll be able to keep writing. It's like putting your current mindset about your book in a time capsule that's a piece of colored paper with pictures, and you get to open it when you most need it in the future. Okay, it's going to be great. Here are some examples of my mood boards. Boom. So this one is a train story that was actually inspired by Thomas the Train because my son loves Thomas the Train. I'll admit it. I'm not afraid. I'll tell you. So obviously there's a train, but I had the idea that, well, what if Thomas the Train wasn't actually a train, but he was an alien? It's actually a pretty cool story. I need to finish it, and I haven't finished it. What if he was an alien who was adopted and thinks he's a machine, but he's not? But he takes the form of a machine, sort of like how Data has a lot more capabilities than a simple robot, but he's still a robot. Anyway, so I wanted to have this sort of story where you have the man who's supposed to be in charge of it, in charge of this big railway, and he has this secret that his grandfather had taken care of this alien invasion on Earth several decades earlier, but the grandfather had it secret and he kept one of the aliens because he couldn't bear to kill it. It was actually a heart-wrenching scene. I did write that scene and it was beautiful, but I haven't read the rest of the book. But I had this, he's hidden away in a shed. Here's a picture of Data because Data is freaking awesome. The old man. Here's a tunnel with lots of leaves, the allure of freedom, but still not being able to obtain it. And anyway, so my idea was anyway, it's cool. It's a cool story, but I need to finish it. So there's the mood board for that. Looking at this makes me want to keep writing it, even though I got kind of doubtful about it. Anyway, so there's that. And then here's a different book. Look at this book. Here's the main character. That's not actually what he looks like, but that's close enough. So this takes place this is the one that has some dungeon scenes. So there's a chain. This guy's a butler and he's taking care. Let me move this thing. He's in charge of taking care of this estate, the one with the fine furniture and things like that, but it's been kind of left alone for decades. So you have, someone serving wine, you have an old, I think this is a cemetery. I made this one a while ago, so it's not quite updated, but it still makes me excited to write this story. It used to be a school, so we have, someone writing down some things. There's cobbled road, because it makes you think of horses pulling a carriage. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool and I liked it, so I put it on there. There's a key. Here's a dead body because there's dead people in this. Yeah, so this is my mood board. It makes me excited. This isn't the actual title of it. I changed the title, but the background, I had a lot of greens in there. So yeah, there's that one. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, whoops. Oh yes, how do you make a mood board? We already talked about that. Paste pictures from a cool magazine onto paper, the old-fashioned way. You can find pictures and print them out and then paste them onto your paper, or you can use Canva online. Make a free account, pick a mood board template. And here, if you want to do it that way, pause the video and come back because I'm about to show you step by step exactly how to do it. So if you already know how to use Canva, you might want to just skip forward a little bit. Here's how you go into Canva. Get your free thing, make your account, and then go in. Look, there's some others that I did. Oh, there's a little thumbnail that I did. Ta-da! Yes, there's that one. This is a different one. This is the royal one. Anyway, so go to create a design. That's pretty easy. Move forward. And you type in mood board. Click mood board photo collage. Something like this should pop up. Go ahead and click on something. It doesn't have to be landscape. Just pick mood board photo collage. And then you want to find something because you have the free account. Anything that has this little crown in the bottom corner is going to make you pay for it. So you don't want the things with the crowns, right? If it has a crown, don't use it. And you also want something that has lots of pictures. Lots of pictures, no crown icon. This one's good. This one's good. This one has, some pictures. It could use more. This one's not good. There's only a few. This one has lots of pictures, but has a crown icon, so no. Focus on the smiley faces. Moving on. So yeah, actually that one probably would have been even better. You want one with lots of pictures. The more picture slots you have, the better. You're going to click on it and then it's going to bring up this lovely little thing and click on this pretty color circle. And this color circle brings up this color circle. You click on that. Unless one of these colors right here is what you want. What you're doing right now is picking the background color. These are all really boring colors and I don't like them. So I picked purple. Boom, purple already has more personality. And then you go to elements, clicky on elements. And then you can type something in. I just made this up. So a wizard thing. So search for wizard, enter. And then you want to look for photos. You can look for graphics, but they don't look quite as good in the end. So I like photos. You don't want videos. You won't be able to print them out. Click photos. And then you pick photos that don't have the little crown icon, right? So pick something. La, 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 la. I picked the one that was right here. And then you drag it. You have to click on it, drag it over to one of the picture slots, and it will actually fit right into the slot. So you'll be able to play with it and take it right to the slot where you want it to be. Ta-da, there it is. Sometimes they'll crop it a little bit, but it doesn't make that big of a deal. So I looked up a whole bunch of things. I looked up crows, potions, princess, wizard. This was kind of a wizard image. Swords, gold, book. That was probably book. Ballroom is what I looked for this one. And then I just picked different colors here because I liked them and they made me excited for a book that I don't know what it's about yet. But this is an example of a mood board, okay? Doesn't it just make you, it makes you excited. That's what this is for. Let's get excited. Here's a closer picture of it. Download the thing and put it on your book or on your desktop or on your phone, whatever. This is the cover of your book for now as you're writing it, okay? This is your little time capsule of excited emotion. And now whenever you look at it, you'll feel, now you can look at it whenever you feel discouraged about your book, and then you'll be happy again. Okay, you're welcome. That's the end. Okay, so go make your mood board. It's going to be awesome. I do want a picture of it. If you can't get me a picture of it, that's okay, but I will be asking you about it in the little survey. Okay, so just to wrap everything up, the homework that you have, which is going to be written down, but let's just go over it. Homework you have is to fill out the smart writing book. Make sure that you know what your overarching SMART goal is when applied to the next 2 months, and maybe when applied to everything. Okay, so the point of that is to really get you thinking about what do you want as a writer? And then what should you write? What are the 5 things that inspired you? If you already have your story figured out, then I'm going to ask you some questions about it so we can really flesh it out. Make sure you know what it is, because they usually have a lot more holes than you think until it's actually written. So yes, there's that. And then show me your mood board because I want to see them, because mood boards are freaking awesome. Okay. And then I will see you next week. Unless you decide to come to the group meeting, which you totally are encouraged to do. Because we can talk about things. If you're unsure about anything thus far, the group meeting is where we can talk about it and help you figure stuff out and move forward. Okay. Bye. This is the end of the week 1 lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Questions, concerns, go ahead and email me, and I'll see you later.